In 1922, a quiet Bavarian farmhouse became the site of one of Germany's most gruesome unsolved mysteries. A family of 6 slaughtered in their own home by an unknown killer, who then stayed on the property. What happened at Hinterkaifeck? And who could commit such a brutal crime and walk away, leaving no trace? Welcome to Puzzling Past, and today we'll be exploring the chilling Hinterkaifeck murders. Our story takes us to a remote farmhouse near the small town of Grobern in Bavaria, Germany. This secluded farm, known as Hinterkaifeck, was home to the Gruber family. Andreas Gruber, 63, lived here with his wife Cecilia, 72, his daughter Victoria Gabriel, 35, and her 2 children, Cecilia, 7, and Josef, 2. The family was quiet and lived in isolation, largely keeping to themselves. The Grubers weren't exactly known for their friendliness. Andreas Gruber was known in town for his harsh demeanor, and troubling rumors of an abusive, incestuous relationship between him and his daughter Victoria had spread. Yet, despite their rocky reputation, no one could have anticipated the horror that would soon strike their farm. In the weeks leading up to the tragedy, Andreas Gruber reported strange, unsettling incidents on the property. He discovered footprints in the snow leading toward the farmhouse, but none leading back. He also found an unfamiliar newspaper in the home and noticed that house keys had mysteriously disappeared. The family heard strange sounds echoing from the attic, footsteps that no one could explain. A shadowy figure was even seen skulking near the edge of the property. Despite the ominous signs, Andreas Gruber did not report any of this to the police. Perhaps he believed it was nothing more than his imagination, but these were warning signs of the horror that was to come. On March 31, 1922, the Gruber family's new maid, Maria Baumgartner, arrived at the farmhouse for her first day of work. That evening, 6 lives were brutally ended. For days, neighbors saw smoke coming from the farmhouse chimney and assumed all was well. But when young Cecilia missed school and no one saw the family around town, suspicions began to rise. On April 4th, local townspeople entered the property and made a horrifying discovery. Inside the barn, they found the bodies of Andreas, his wife Cecilia, Victoria, and young Cecilia stacked on top of one another, brutally beaten. Inside the farmhouse, they discovered 2 more bodies, the maid Maria and 2-year-old Josef, also killed in cold blood. The murders were committed with a mattock, a heavy pickaxe-like tool commonly found on farms. Each victim had suffered severe head trauma, and young Cecilia, the 7-year-old, showed signs of having survived for several hours after the initial attack. Clumps of her hair were found in her hands, likely from a desperate response to pain and fear. Investigators noted another disturbing detail. The bodies were carefully covered with hay and sheets, as if the killer had taken care to hide them. It was as if the murderer felt at home, with no urgency to escape. And here's where the story gets even more chilling. After the murders, it appears the killer stayed on the property for several days. Neighbors saw smoke rising from the chimney and noted that the animals were well fed. The killer had been eating the family's food, taking care of the livestock, and possibly even sleeping in the Gruber's beds. Whoever committed this atrocity seemed strangely comfortable in the aftermath, as though they felt at home. As the investigation unfolded, authorities interviewed over 100 suspects, but no one was ever charged. Theories emerged, some grounded in reality, others far more speculative. Visuals of suspects: Karl Gabriel, Lorenz Schlittenbauer, and other unnamed townsfolk. One of the prime suspects was Lorenz Schlittenbauer, Victoria's neighbor and rumored lover. Lorenz initially claimed to be the father of 2-year-old Josef and had a complicated relationship with the family. Some said he acted suspiciously when he led searchers to the bodies, even handling evidence as if he already knew what he would find. However, nothing could be definitively tied to him. Another theory was that Victoria's husband, Karl Gabriel, who supposedly died in World War I, may have somehow faked his death and returned for revenge. Some believe Karl couldn't bear the rumors of an incestuous relationship between Andreas and Victoria, but no evidence has ever supported this theory, and Karl's death in battle is well documented. Other theories range from a passing vagabond or serial killer to the involvement of multiple individuals who stumbled upon the isolated farm. Some believe that supernatural forces or even a cursed lineage played a role. In the years following the Hinterkaifeck murders, the farmhouse was demolished. Yet the mystery has only deepened. Even with advances in forensic science, the case remains unsolved and the questions linger. Display a timeline of the investigation and various crime scene photos. Who murdered the Gruber family? Was it a personal vendetta, an outsider passing through, or something more sinister lurking in the shadows of Hinterkaifeck? Despite all the speculation, no answers have ever emerged, and the Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of the most haunting cold cases in history. What do you think happened at Hinterkaifeck? Was it a calculated crime, a disturbed lover, or something even darker? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed today's dive into the mysteries of puzzling past, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another chilling story. Until next time, stay curious and watch your back.